Ashe County Oral History Project, December the 19th, 1980. An interview with Dent, Pennington. Interviewer, Clarice Weaver. Now, Mr. Pennington, I'll just call you Dent. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Could you tell me your full name and when you were born and where? And we'll just start talking about your family a little first,
Well,
okay?
I was born here in this house on August the 31st, 1895.
1895.
Yes, August 31st.
August the 31st.
Yeah.
Well, here at Helton, and in this very house.
Yeah, in this house.
It's a beautiful house. What was your dad's name, your mother and
My
dad?
father's name was Cicero,
Cicero.
and my mother was Almeida,
How did she spell Almeida?
A-L-M-E-D-A.
What was her maiden name?
She's a grub.
A grub.
From over around Grant, Virginia.
There's a lot of interest in genealogy, and so I know you know right much about your ancestors or your family. What was your your dad's name was Cicero. What was his father's name?
Stephen.
Stephen.
Yeah.
So, do you know Stephen's father's name?
I don't know, but I didn't know that I forgot.
Well, Stephen takes you back pretty far, don't he?
Yes, it does. I don't. He died. He died before I was born. But I knew my grandmother well. She lived a good while after he died.
Is that right? Did you know her maiden name? Stephen's. Let's see. What was Stephen's wife's name?
Joanna.
Joanna.
Spencer. She was Spencer.
Well, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I don't know about. My father had
Pennington's an
two
old.
or three brothers. He had Dr. Pennington's
Was he?
father was a brother to
What was his name?
her grandfather, and then there's another one. Let's see. His name was Claiborne Pennington, and then there's another one. We called him Doc.
Doc.
Yeah, but his name was, I think,
Harrison. Well, now, say was this house built by your dad or your grandfather?
My daddy built it.
Your daddy.
Built this kitchen and this dining room part first.
Mm-hmm.
And the other part was built in 1884, but this was built first, I guess. As a family grew, they had to make more room. There's a little house out here that they lived in to start with. And they moved here at this area. My father was 11 years old. My grandfather moved from Gracie Creek.
Over here.
Up the road. They built a log house up there.
Is that
And my
right?
father was 11 years old when they carried the crop. And I got it upstairs.
Is that
Gracie Creek.
your daddy carried the cloth?
Yeah, when he was 11 years old.
Well,
They was afraid to put it on a wagon or a sled or ever how they moved, So he carried it.
so you have the cloth?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Was all your family good carpenters? I know you are, but was your daddy and
Yes, he was. He's good. He's good.
that's a family?
He was a builder, built houses and barns and furniture. And he had a shop out here, and a pretty good sized shop. And some man helped him. They worked together. I forget the man's name, but I've heard the older people talk about him. The man that just didn't seem to have any home, and he's a good cabinet maker, and he stayed here with my daddy, and they worked together and made lots of furniture.
The wood they had to make furniture with in those days was the best, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was now this home is built with fine wood
Oh,
too.
the best. This had to be the best.
Well, it's just beautiful. Did your dad farm too?
Yes, he farmed.
He farmed and was a cabinet maker and worked had a shop.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he make caskets?
Yes, he did. I remember that.
Well, they all, there's a casket maker in every community, I guess, weren't they,
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah.
Maybe not ever, but about.
Yeah.
What did they make it and then line them real nicely and.
The story in the paper is about Lenny's first son here, You remember what I said about that?
Yeah, let's tell it on this too. I remember that. That's good.
Yeah. Well, now where do you want to go from here?
Tell us about that particular thing, about Lenny, about the casket.
The first thing that she is here after we married, somebody died the way, and they had to make the casket, and Lenny worried her to death. Well, she never heard anybody work on Sunday, not even making what they were making too. And they always brought a stick to measure the body. And when I was a lad, I'd see him come with that stick. And I didn't like the fix of the stick.
So if it's a little stick, you knew it was a
If it's a
child.
short stick, it's a child. And they had to measure the full length of the body so they know how long to make the call.
So you knew someone had died when you saw someone coming with.
Stick. But it's he made a lot of caskets.
I've been hearing some interesting stories about, the caskets and how the funerals had to be conducted at home, and it was just difficult for the family. Of course, it's difficult anyway, but I guess the neighbors all took care of everything, the body and everything.
But we mentioned about my father came across from Grassy Creek. This is Wallins Creek. Wallins Creek.
Wallins.
And that's where they first come to, up here. There's two creeks. There's this other prong over here, Spencer Branch, and this is Wallins Creek, and the dip is into Helton. There's Wallins Creek down at the church.
Oh, really?
And a lot of people still think it's Spencer Branch.
I've always heard it's Spencer Branch.
It's Wallins Creek. There's no man by the name of Wallins settled up here on the head of this creek back in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's got its name.
Wallins.
The B-L-E-N-S, Wallins.
When you say when you were a little boy, were most of the homes, a great percent of the homes, were they log cabins or were they in the?
Well, a good many. Good many of them. They always built. The kitchen part was always out of logs, wasn't it? And they had to do it, I guess, and then build it out of just wood like this house. That's the way the whole house was up the road. The kitchen part was logs, and the rest of it was weatherboarded and had the upstairs to it.
When your daddy working in the shop and so forth, now did he make farm implements for people too?
No, I don't think he did. He just probably might have made handles for the plows or maybe hoe handles or
He didn't do any blacksmithing, did he?
Some, yeah. He had a blacksmith shop too. He done some.
Well, they had to make all their farm implements just about, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. The back then they had to make a lot of them.
Did you help with the little boy on the farm?
Yes, I did. I had some. I saw her lazy about it.
You had some older brothers, didn't you?
I helped some, I didn't think, but it never did appeal to me much. But I done a lot of it anyway.
The days were kind of long on the farm, weren't they? Sun up to sundown, as they say. Did even in your early childhood, did the carpentry appeal to you more than what was going on?
Yeah, I like to do things like that. Go out in my daddy's shop and work around some. I was awful careful with his tools, though. Tinker with the tools here.
Well, you learned early to respect tools then, didn't you?
But I still got some of the tools that they use to make the doors with here.
Is that?
Make the paneling and cut the grooves for the panels in the doors. My father sold them to a neighbor, and after he died, he had a sale, and I bought them back. And I've got many tools back like that where they sold years ago.
Now, when you were a little boy and started school, where'd you attend?
Well,
school?
the first school I went to, I wasn't old enough to go to school. I went with my sister to schoolhouse out here on the hill, a log schoolhouse out, Ryan Emerson is where you first turn in. Well, it's just on the right of the road there. Of course, the road's been graded and it changed there. So it's up on a little knoll on the right of the road, a log schoolhouse. And I went with one of my sisters out there. I wasn't old enough to go to school, but I remember it. And Mark Jones was his teacher at that time.
Mark Jones. It wasn't so far to walk, was it?
No, not far. Then after I was old enough to go to school, I went to Helton Academy.
Up to Helton Academy.
Yeah, and we walked most of the time. And during the winter time, I liked to skate. And I'd carry the skates out the top of the hill, and then I'd walk down to Helton Creek and then go to school on the ice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was the ice out there?
No, it froze over all winter.
Is it?
And then when the school turned out of evening, I'd get on the creek and come back down the creek on the ice.
On the ice.
And I spent a lot of time on the ice. I was a good skater.
What'd you do? Order your pair of skates to do it? Or did your dad make
there's skates, regular ice skates, fastened on his shoes.
Well, when you were very small, now this is the Christmas season, how was Christmas celebrated around here?
Well, they what we got for Christmas was grapes. You've seen them in stores. I was to fix them.
Just sort of
dried grapes, and maybe a little candy of some kind.
fruit.
Hang up your stockings. You didn't get much, just a little candy, a little stick or two of candy, and you always put some grapes in. There's a special thing for
They call them
children.
raisins. I think they call them raisins, but they're still on the stem.
Yeah. Dried.
Kind of raisin.
Yeah.
So they didn't go in for a lot of celebration. Well, it's a lot, and I guess it meant a lot in those days. It's hard to...
No, they didn't do much for Christmas. They had, after they had the Helton Academy over there, they always had a Christmas tree over there, and they had a program. A big Christmas tree, always the biggest that they could get in, the better.
Well, now, they didn't have Christmas trees in the home, did they, in those days? Did many people have Christmas?
They didn't. We never did that.
Santa come down the chimney?
Yeah, Santa Claus come down the chimney. Stockings.
Did they have a religious observation? Did they have say a Christmas program at the church, a play or anything like that? Now, in my
Not them days, but I remember they didn't have just later on. They did have Christmas programs and something like that.
Did you ever hear of anybody celebrating old Christmas around here? Isn't it January Did anyone? They didn't celebrate old Christmas. So I've always heard of the old Christmas, but I didn't know if anyone actually celebrated it, the old calendar or not. Tell me a little bit about the Helton Academy. That's where you attended. Was that a high school?
Yes, it was. It was high school. It was one of the first, the first in the county. His was built in 1902, wasn't it? 2 or 4? 1902.
I forget.
Professor Brown was the first principal. He is from, I think, from over in Allegheny County. And I remember going with my daddy over there, and he made a talk at school before he was finished, and I remember shavings on the floor.
Hmm.
And he taught, he had 2 daughters.
Professor Brown had 2 daughters.
Yeah, they taught too.
Mhm.
I had a son, but he was so younger. He had a son, Sam. Sam and his daughter, let's see, his name was, what was his name, Hattie. I don't remember that one. One of them lived to be pretty old and lived in Sparta. I'd like to see her after, while she's living in Sparta.
Mhm.
Then after Professor Brown, we had Professor Cook.
Professor Cook was the next.
And he's a bird too.
He what?
He's a bird.
Were they pretty strict?
You don't have that many.
Yeah, I've got it on there.
Well, he is an educated man. He's from Greensboro. And he boarded here, and he and some of the older boys. He stayed here. I've got to taste some of it. I don't guess I better.
Well, how about did they have a boarding school house down there for them to stay in, or did they just board in the community?
Well,
the students.
They had a finding for the house of, where John Spencer lived.
Mhm.
That's the boarding house.
Oh. Wonder how many.
But they boarded around in the homes. Down here, this house down the road where the Weavers used to live. Some stayed down there, and there's Professor, what you call it, stayed here, and 2 or 3 men. Albert Clary, you ever heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard. Did Albert teach at Helton Academy, or was he a student?
He's student,
Oh, I see.
and Tucker up on Horse Creek. They stayed here at the same time, and maybe another one or 2.
Mm-hmm.
But they finally moved and stayed in the old Helton Methodist parsonage up there above where our legion lived.
Mm-hmm.
They stayed there. Professor Cook and some of the men, young men.
Well, was this a private funded thing, or was it the Methodist Church fund? Did they sponsor it, or who
No,
sponsored?
that was just the Stafford County.
Uh-huh.
They
Yeah.
built it.
Uh-huh. Well, you
And
don't.
it's Dent is a big school. There's a lot of, they had always at the commencement exercise, there's a lot of people, a lot of had to be grow out.
Well, did about how many students do you think could attend there? What was their capacity? Do you know how many people could how they could accommodate?
Oh, there's I guess 200 or 300 maybe.
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. They had this big, the front of this, you never did see the
No, I
old
haven't.
building,
No.
or either one. The first one, then they added on, the Masons built another story on top of the first building. And they used the front of the building was high school pupils, and then the other 2 big rooms were for the grades.
Mm-hmm.
And there's pictures here somewhere, I think, of that.
Mm-hmm. So it was all high school and grade school.
Yeah,
But they didn't have any bus service, so the students had to board.
you board and walk.
Mm-hmm. Well, how was the discipline? Did they have any discipline problems in those days?
Not too much. No, they're strict. They didn't have too much trouble. They had to walk the line.
they could keep them pretty well straight.
Yeah, Professor Cook come along, and then they changed everything. He's a different type.
Was he a little bit more lenient?
Turned that.
Now, at that time when you finished high school, could you get a school and teach, or did you have to go to college?
They could get a school if you finished high school.
Well, that was a great benefit to the boys and girls in this area, wasn't it?
My brother Bradley got to school. He got to school in Allegheny County and then taught Wolf Law up here.
Oh.
And then taught over at Ashley community over beyond Lansing.
Over which community?
Ashley's. It was Amy. Amy then was post office.
Amy.
Amy. It's over, you know, where you turn right below Lansing across the hill. It's over in that section.
Oh, yes. Well, so it was a big, Helton community. Was it one of the first settlements in the county, the Helton community? Do you know? Was that David
I don't know
Helton?
for sure. It must have been one of the first because it was somehow things I know about it must have been one of the first.
Was Helton named after David Helton?
In fact, after Helton, man was named Helton, but I don't know what his first name was.
I think
And he's buried down at the chapel church down there.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know whether his grave is marked. Not just been a stone, but that's what I've been told, that that's where he's buried. In the lower left-hand corner of the cemetery
Down
down Hilton here, down.
the Methodist cemetery?
No, it's down at the chapel church.
The chapel.
Down the creek. It's a Baptist church.
Well. Now, when the boys and girls got some age on them and decided to go dating, and did they do most of their courting going home from church or school?
Well, most of it was at home or all the way from church to the home, the girls' home.
Mm-hmm.
But that was back in my days, you know. Most of the time the boys just go see the girls at their homes. It's different now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They'll go out somewhere for shows or something, but then they just go to the home.
Where'd you meet Lenny, your wife?
I met her at a party when she come down to Hilton High School.
Mm-hmm.
She had a party for her, invited a lot of the youngsters in, and I remember I met her there, but she didn't remember which one I was.
She impressed you, but you hadn't made an impression yet.
Then up at Zion Hill Church is having a revival, and Lenny and the girls was at the church, and I managed to get over pretty close, and I slipped her a note and asked her if I could walk home with her. And she didn't know. She didn't know me. She forgot that I'd seen her. She hadn't even far into it first. And these girls told her if they had a chance, they'd walk with me. So she decided, all right. And that's where we started. And that was 1917, I guess. That was the year that I went to the army.
Were you married before you went in the service?
No, she wouldn't have me.
What she want? She's playing hard to get, wasn't she?
I didn't want to go in the service.
Now, where is your wife? Where is she from? I mean, where were you born, Lenny?
We called it Beaver Creek.
Beaver Creek. Well, what were you doing? Oh, you come up here to go to school.
Yes,
Did you stay with someone?
Stayed with my mother's sister.
Oh.
That's where I'm born.
So that's what brought her from from Beaver Creek up to
Yeah,
help.
that's how come
So
her
my
name.
mother told her it was
That's
time
when
to
she
take
got in
care of
trouble.
When you spiders, when she got in trouble, you did you. Now, you went in into the service in what year?
It's 1917.
1970.
I think it's September. And then
Was there a draft then?
Yeah, drafted. It was drafted. I was one of the second group that went. There's eight left Ashe County before I did. And they kept 5 of them, and there's 3 that didn't pass the examination at camp. And the next bunch went. There's 6, and I was in that group.
64.
Yeah, and I was just 21 years old. Yeah. And the doctors at the board, they'd feel of you, and if you was warm, they'd send you on. You know?
Was that the
That's-
extent of the examination?
Yeah, but when you got to camp, not much different. They just see if you could drill, you know. See, well, if you was able-bodied, and if you couldn't drill, if you didn't know your right from the left, they'd send you back home.
Oh. Well, when you left Ashe County, or when you left home here at Helton to go to camp, did you first go to the courthouse at West Jefferson?
Yes, we did.
Or Jefferson, rather.
Jefferson.
Then
And we
what?
stayed overnight. Up there at the hotel, and then we hiked over to West Jefferson.
From Jefferson to West Jefferson?
Yeah.
You walked?
Walked over there. Across, it was a near way through the field somewhere. We went over there.
Did he
And
have
they had a train, they had her car all decorated up, and we got over across the mountain, and there's a bridge washed out, and they had to leave it, got there, and they had to meet us with another train over on the other side of the creek, and we lost her decorated car.
it stayed on the other side of the creek, and you all had to get on the other?
Yeah.
Did you have a ceremony?
What's that?
Did you have a ceremony at West Jefferson when you got on the train or
No,
something?
I don't think so.
Just got on the decorated car?
Lenny didn't, she wasn't there, she didn't go.
I couldn't stand the pressure.
She said some of her cousins now.
They went to see you off, and she stayed at home.
Yeah.
I didn't anyway. That's my first school.
You were teaching scuba then, is that right, man?
Um,
Where did you now after you left your decorated car and got on the other train? What camp did you?
We went to Fort Jackson, Camp Jackson they called it then. It's changed it to Fort Jackson later.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Columbia, close to Columbia.
How long were you in?
Well, we was there 8 months. I never moved my bunk out of one corner for 8 months. They transferred so many men away, and they left I tell everybody they left the culls there. There's 16 of us was left, and they picked them out all around me and left a few of Ashe County boys together, and a lot of them that went on. I hate to see them go, and there's one in particular wanted me to talk to the captain and see if I could keep him there, and I thought, just better keep my mouth shut. I'd be better off.
You might have been going with him earlier, right?
Well, but he went on. He got back home. He went on, and he was sent into the 30th Division, and that's where I'd have went if they'd have said we are. And they had a pretty rough time at 30th Division.
What outfit were you in when you went?
81st Wildcat.
81st Wildcat. Well, of course, you did go on over later, didn't you?
Yeah.
Were you with Ashe County boys in France, or was it France you went to?
Yeah, we went to France.
Were you with some Ashe County boys
Yes,
over there?
was.
Too?
It's,
Is that right?
It's, I don't know how many. Several kept us together. We went over there. And there's one man, Ed Jones, he was wounded at the same day I was. I was wounded at 8 o'clock in the morning over in the 11th, and he was wounded at 10 that same morning.
Oh, really?
And he's living over on South Street. He's pretty feeble, though. He can't get out anywhere anymore.
When did you go to France? What year? What year?
It
What
was
month?
1918, and we got over there in August, I think, 1918, and went on to the front. different places. First went up in Gold's Mountain sections.
What section?
Gold's Mountains. And that's a white sector where there wasn't much going on, just to get us used to what it'd be like to be close to enemy fire, you know. So then the moved back and we got in the heart of it.
And you
But
found out.
we is on a hill. Some call it Dead Man.